Hey everyone, Chandler here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a range sell off the highs here on crude oil. Now, the overall move itself, we're coming off of the range highs here, and it's just looking to be setting up more of a rotational day. I'm going to put my stop above here, 61.12. There we go. We got 4 contracts short at 61.02. Because the risk is so small on this trade, I'm going to be looking to take 3 off down here at the range lows, 60.65. And then we're going to look for an extended target. We've got kind of the leniency to be able to do that now because the risk is, it's only a little over 10 ticks. So the next one's going to go down to 60.06. Now, are we going to get down there? Who knows? With a rotational day, it does usually like to rotate between range, expand to the next range, expand to the next one, or come back, that kind of thing. And that's kind of what we're looking for right now. So looking at 60.06 for the final runner target, just one contract down there if it wants to go. We'll just lock our stop in at break even and just kind of let it play. Normally you'd want to try to trail your stop along with it, but when you're going for this big of a move on a rotational day, it's just as likely to rotate around and whip around and come back and then stop you out and then dump, right? We've all been there. So instead of that, we're just going to leave our stop at break even, let it see if it wants to fall, see if it wants to break that 60.65, and then see if it wants to get down to that 60.06 extension down there. And, if it does, perfect. Then we can bag a pretty nice winner. But the big thing right now is just the risk versus the reward on this trade. You don't get setups like this very often. Right now, we're in short at 61.02. Our first target's coming off at 60.65. We're looking at 37 ticks just on the first target. Now, that's big enough, okay? But if we do get that pushed down and we do end up going down all the way to hit that 60.06, then you're looking at 96 ticks. It's almost 100 ticks just for the second target. So overall, we've got a massive possibility of profit here, especially considering the fact that our risk right now is 11 ticks, okay? So even if we hit that first target, we've more than tripled our initial risk. If we do get them all hit, we're taking 3 off at 37, so that by itself is 111 ticks. That's why I said we can afford to go for a longer target. Final target's going to come off at 96. So if we do get that hit, we're looking at 207 ticks on this entire move here. Now, is it going to fall all the way down there? I don't know that yet. But right now, the main target's going to be down at 60.65. Just look like we're rotating. So we're coming off the rotation highs. We got stuck up there. We pushed down, formed the range lows down here. Since then, we kind of made our way right back up again, tested it, and then failed. And the expectation is for us to come back down to the lows. And with these type of days, one of two things is going to happen. We're either just going to rotate back and forth between these ranges, or we're going to hit the lows, maybe pop up a little bit, but eventually break down, go to the next one. Range, maybe come back. Range, you get the idea. So right now we're just looking at a rotational type day. And if that is the case, then looking for 60.65 should be relatively easy to hit. So we'll be back in a little bit. It is a 5-minute chart. It's relatively early in the morning. Just had some bigger news come out. Doesn't really affect crude oil a whole lot, but we'll be back in a little bit, see if we can get those targets filled. All right, getting big continuing volume here. Got our target filled, 60.64. Beautiful. So got the target filled. Now, because of that, like we were talking about, normally we would just be all in, all out here. But because of the size of the stop versus the size of the target, we can afford to go for that bigger target down to 60.04. So I'm going to lock my stop in at 61.01, and I'm just going to let the trade run. Now, you can trail along with it if you would like to, but this type of day can get really, really whippy. So it might just go down. It might come back and stop us out, and we make an extra tick. Again, that part's not a huge deal because we're already sitting on 100+ ticks as is. So I can't say that I'm super concerned about it if it does come back and stop me out because we've already got a massive amount of profit locked into the trade. So we're going to leave our stop to break even. You could trail down if you wanted to. I mean, as an example right here, I really don't want to see this high taken out, so I can move my stop there. But we are coming off of the rotation lows. 60.64 is the range lows, and we are bouncing. You can see a boatload of buying volume coming in here, just reversing it right back up. So that's the type of thing where, yes, you can leave your stop at 60.99, and is it going to make a huge difference versus 61.01? Probably not. But do you want to continue trailing down? That's where it gets a little bit risky because it could just bounce right back out, stop you out, and then dump exactly where you thought it was going to go. So we'll leave our stop at 60.99. That's a pretty good area that I don't want to see broken. But outside of that, we'll just continue to let this thing ride out. And if it takes till the end of the day, it takes till the end of the day. But we'll be back in hopefully a little while, maybe not. And we'll see if we can get that target at 60.04 filled back down into the 60s. That's a big deal. So we'll see if they can dig down there. All right, we're getting a lot of continued downward selling pressure here. Lots of contracts hitting the tape. Because of that, because we're so close, I'm going to lock my stop in above this most recent swing, 60.30. I really don't want to see us come back. Come 2 ticks away from our target. That's close enough for me to lock my stop in a little bit here. We're sitting up 92 ticks at the moment, looking for that big push down to see if we can get that 60.04 and just kind of break these lows here. They're flirting around with it, and it's a good thing. I want to see them kind of get stuck here and then eventually break down. Let's see if they can do it here. There we go. I got it filled. What a trade. Holy cow. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful move down. We got our target at 60.04 filled. Huge, huge runner to the downside. Really, the overall profitability on this was through the roof. And being able to extend an extra target out there without any concern at all, just based on the risk versus the reward, sometimes you get that opportunity. And when you do get that opportunity, hang on to it, because you can bank some massive runners on those moves, just like we have here, where you get this, this big wide range. Our stop is 11 ticks, and our targets to the downside, we're looking at the first target at already putting away 100 plus ticks. So why not leave it on there? See if it wants to fall. Rotational days like this tend to want to go to the next level down, and we're there right now at 60.04. Now, does that mean that it's going to stop here and turn back up at 60.64? It's got a good likelihood, but not necessarily. It might just break down and keep going. It's a pretty big sell-off here. But when you get that chance, you've got to try to take it and see what it'll give you, because you can get some huge, huge runners. Right now, we're sitting up on a massive chunk of profit. Again, the first target we took 3 off down here at the lows. That locked in 38 ticks. The second target down at the farther lows, the extensions we just got hit at 98. So if we add all those up, 38 at 3, plus another 98, that gives us 212 ticks on the trade. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be too upset about $2,000 on one trade with only 4 contracts. So that's going to be the trade. Beautiful, beautiful movement. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.